exactly what we're doing here. You see me painting for a little bit, so and welcome in. Please remember to like and subscribe. But what I've started on is some of the surface stones in that background, and all we did was add the lighter color in here, and then we're putting some darker colors underneath it. It makes it look a little more three dimensional.
Is this really necessary?
Am I waiting too long?
And the reason you didn't hear anything is because when an old guy forgets to turn the microphone on, it tends to be that way.
At the Christ Hospital Health Network, families choose us because our outcomes lead the region. Our
So,
surgeons are among the most
don't blame
experienced anywhere, and our
don't blame
patient
the
experience
electronics.
is consistently ranked among the best.
The
Whether
electronics
it's for you
user.
or someone you love, if it's surgery, it's at Christ. Find a surgeon at thechristhospital.com/surgery.
We all take good care of the things that matter. Our homes, our pets, our cars. Are you doing the same for your brain? Acting early to protect brain health may help reduce the risk
Apparently,
of
I'm not doing it for my
conditions
brain
like
since I
Alzheimer's
forgot to
disease.
turn on the microphone.
Studies have found that up to 45% of dementia cases may be prevented or delayed by managing risk factors you can change. Make brain health a priority. Ask your doctor about your risk factors and for a cognitive assessment. Learn more at brainhealthmatters.com.
Begin your Mother's Day with a timeless gift she will treasure. Celebrate your love with something unforgettable, because sincerity is our love language. James Free Jewelers. Make yourself at home. We welcome all to experience the finest diamonds, rarest creations, and Swiss timepieces at James Free Jewelers, 9555 Main Street in Montgomery, or jamesfree.com.
I'm not going to worry about doing all the stones because I'm going to come back in with once this is dry on that area, I'm going to take a wash and go over it and tone it down quite a bit. But I want to make sure I got some darks in there as well as the lighter tones. And adding a little of this other color in there. The more earth tones you add into that background, since it's all earth tone anyway, when we go in and put the other parts in there, it'll work out just fine. I think I'm going to have to write me a little sheet of paper and stick it on the wall that tells me, hey, simple-minded individual, make sure you turn the microphone on. And this just gives the illusion of stones. We're not putting a whole lot into this. Adjust ourselves. These days I learned not to put everything in my way. Don't know what that'll be. Let's take
Begin your
this bright
Mother's
light off
Day
of
with a
here.
timeless gift she will treasure. Celebrate your love with something unforgettable. Because
Since it
sincerity
wants to
is our
reflect off
love
that
language. James Free Jewelers. Make yourself at home. We
whole
welcome
lot.
all to experience the finest diamonds, rarest creations, and Swiss timepieces
now we got a little
at
more.
James Free Jewelers.
Better
9555
look at
Main
this
Street
without
in
all the bright lights
Montgomery
in it.
or jamesfree.com.
And as you can see,
Why waste time on breakfast that's boring and bland? Break
it
free
looks
at Maple Street Biscuit.
a little more like a pebble background.
Scratch-made biscuit sandwiches, epic waffles, handcrafted brunch bowls, and endless craft
But if
coffee.
you get up close,
At Maple Street, every bite is bold, every sip.
you know, it looks like
is
little
Don't
stones.
settle for ordinary. Discover
But it didn't take me
full,
very long to get all that done.
Tap now. Find your local
Like I said, we don't put a whole lot of detail in the background
Cancer.
because
For
it's not
some, it's
very
one of
important.
life's fiercest foes.
But the
But not
composition
with
is
genes.
just
While
something in
cancer
there to
hides, we hunt.
make reference
As a
to
team like no other,
uh,
giving patients access to the most
painting
advanced
itself.
treatment options and sparking new hope. So if you just heard the words, "You have cancer," you should know this.
So
We are
let's
too. And there's no better team in the
move on to
nation
the
to create a
in-between
cancer
stuff here,
the James at Ohio
right next to
State.
the line. And I'm gonna turn this light back on so I can see. And since this is in a closer area, but this is only going to be a little small gravel. I'm just going to break it up with some of this, and then I'll come back in with the lighter colors here in a minute. And tap back in there. When you're doing this, you got to be random about it. You can't set a pattern. You can't space them. You just got to think about what you're painting. You're painting rocks. So you want to, you looked at a gravel driveway or a rock outcropping wherever you went on vacation at, you'll notice that none of this stuff is perfect. If you try to be perfect with everything, you're going to end up not creating the best painting that you can, because there's nothing perfect about anything in this world. Even though some people think they're perfect, they're not, you know. And this is a what's called a filbert brush. So it's rounded on the top, So it makes pretty good calf moves, as I call it, when lightly applied, which is kind of like your river rock. If you drag a little bit, you can make different, change your angle. You can make different, stones or whatever that you want to make. You don't have to, make anything that looks perfect, as they say, because there's nothing going to 100% satisfy any real artist. Okay, because everything always seems like it could have been done better, and you got to know when to stop so you don't overwork your painting. You need a little more liquid in there. Not put on my brush the way I just wanted to. Liquid makes it flow a whole lot better. They like that. Another key thing is you can twirl that brush while you're doing it, so you're not getting pattern set. Now we're getting in a little bit closer here, so we're going to see more gaps in the little rocks. You're going to see some areas that look open, but they're just more compacted gravel. So we'll put some patches of the rougher stones in.
Begin your Mother's Day with a timeless gift she will treasure. Celebrate your love with something unforgettable, because sincerity is our love language. James Free Jewelers. Make yourself at home. We welcome all to experience the finest diamonds, rarest creations, and Swiss timepieces at James Free Jewelers, 9555 Main Street
If
in
you don't like
Montgomery,
the spots, you go back
or
and you retouch it,
jamesfree.com.
later on.
Star Wars is back on the big screen with The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Gangsters, war criminals. I'll take out every bad guy in your deck of cards.
On May 22nd, feel the Force on the biggest screen possible.
The old protect the young, and the young protect the old. This is the way.
Bacala.
Always wear your seatbelt.
The Mandalorian and Grogu, rated PG-13, may be inappropriate for children under 13 in theaters May 22nd. Get tickets now.
Meet your next audiobook on Spotify. They are headed back to Earth, and it begins. A body is found. The crew is disappearing. A sense of terror fills the ship. Every decision is life or death. If you love sci-fi, suspense, and short reads with strong female leads, The Scourge Between Stars by Ness Brown should be your next listen. Press play today on Spotify and find out if Captain Jacqueline Albright can keep the last of humanity alive.
Go, Jacqueline. don't even know what that book is about. You want a book? I got a book for you. If you make a mistake, like you made a big glob and you don't like what you did, simple, turn it into a rock. You know, like I said, you can't mess up a painting. You can correct it. You can make changes in it. Whatever you want to do. Let's see how that looks. There we go. That looks good. Now we are going to go load across. Get my phone out of the way before I start painting my phone. Remember, this is closer, so your little stones and rocks are going to be bigger, but still, it's going to be dark in here, and you're not going to see a lot of detail, so you don't have to be perfect with these. And there's still going to be some gaps where it's fine gravel, so don't be afraid to miss a gap. And see where this bar is? That's a shadow. So we're going to go into the shadow and continue our stones down, because this is shadow, this is shadow. So they're still going to be in there. And we're going to do a shadow wash, which will give us the desired effect that we want. So I'm going to create some big stones and little stones in there. And that line is just a guide for our shadow itself. But it is going to be dark, so I mean, you're not going to see a whole lot of your stones when you're done. But you'd be amazed at how much people can pick out, even in those shadowed areas. So if you made a smooth, solid shadow and you had stones everywhere else, it wouldn't look quite right. You don't worry about going into your cross either, because when you go to paint it, it's going to paint over top of that. And you want it to look like, you know, there's gravel up underneath. So hitting it on the edge, when it does get painted, it'll look like it's going up underneath without you having to spend time to cut it in. think I'm going to go with a little bit bigger brush. The rest of these pebbles. Let's go a little bit bigger brush.
Is this really necessary?
Am I waiting too long?
Who's actually the best?
What would I choose for my mom?
Am I overthinking this?
When your mind is full of questions, the answer should be simple. At the Christ Hospital Health Network, families choose us because our outcomes lead the region. Our surgeons are among the most experienced anywhere, and our patient experience is consistently ranked among the best. Whether it's for you or someone you
Forget to hand
love,
you a big
if
rock
it's
in there once
surgery,
in a while.
it's at Christ. Find a surgeon at thechristhospital.com/surgery.
Why waste time on breakfast that's boring and bland? Break free at Maple Street Biscuit Company. Indulge in scratch-made biscuit sandwiches, epic waffles.
Notice how I changed the direction of the brush to make different sized stones
At Maple Street,
without having
every
to,
bite is bold, every sip unforgettable. Don't
do a whole lot extra.
Discover a menu that leaves you full, fulfilled.
And having this marbled background in here
Find your local Maple
aids
Street
in doing the next step, which is the
We all know life gets crazy.
pea gravel
but with
stuff that's in
DoorDash,
there.
You can bring a little order to it.
Because
Like, it's been a hectic day, the
it
store
will
just wasn't happening, and you need a pantry stock up ASAP. Or it's 4
sort of
a.m., the
disappear.
whole house is sick, and you can't leave the fam to get meds. Or you just heard about that school project due tomorrow. And yeah, it requires poster board. Life comes at you fast, so get a little bit of relief delivered with DoorDash. Order now.
layer by layer by layer. Now, some people like to do alla prima, which means they do wet on wet. I am not that type of person. I'm a definite layer person without working into wet. There are times when I do work wet on wet in a painting, but that's only when I really need it to blend. But as far as this goes, I don't need this to blend. I just need this to have spots that look like stones. Big stones, little stones, big rock. Like that. Jagged rock. I mean, it's whatever you want to put in there. There is no right or wrong answer on this. A big rock right here. We'll put a little bit of highlight on top of that and have ourselves a big rock. Put some stones back in here and we'll put the highlight over it. That'll hide that. And right in here, we're going to put a big stone. Like so. A jagged edge and something that makes it look a little different. If you ever want to know where I get my inspirations for the paintings that I do, it's through God. God gives me the inspiration of which painting to do next. I pray about it. He leads me to whatever that is on His mind for me to do, and I do it. And it's an honor for me to do that. So I like being picked. Not like being picked last in school, like I was a lot of
Begin your
times.
Mother's Day
But,
with a timeless gift she
know
will
what I mean.
treasure. Celebrate your love with something unforgettable, because sincerity is our love
Put another
language.
big rock over
James
here.
Free Jewelers. Make yourself at home. We welcome all to experience the finest diamonds, rarest creations, and Swiss timepieces at
Another big
James
rock
Free
right
Jewelers, 9555 Main Street in Montgomery, or jamesfree.com.
Meet your next audiobook on Spotify. They are headed back to Earth, and it begins. A body is found. The crew is disappearing. A sense of terror fills the ship. Every
Now,
decision
we
is
got
life or death. If you love sci-fi, suspense, and short reads with strong
this
female
little area
leads,
right
The
over
Scourge
here.
Between Stars by Ness Brown should be your next listen. Press play today on Spotify and find out if Captain Jacqueline Albright can keep the last of humanity alive.
Hello, my name is Daniel Wall, and I'm the host of Behind the Wall, a show that shines a light on the people and untold stories behind the most iconic moments in music, film, and entertainment. Every episode pulls back the curtain on how our favorite songs, movies, and creative breakthroughs come to life. Our goal is to build a platform that allows the creatives who often aren't known to get the chance to tell their full story, reminding us that the stories that change our lives always start behind the wall. So, if you're ready to go behind the wall, watch now on Spotify.
There's a big rock right here. It's going to go in behind. Our cross. That'll give it another layer. Let's pull back and see what we got here. It'll make you all jump and shake. Let's see. Get that reflection off there. Let's see. Yeah, maybe we can get to look at it without having as you can see, it makes the ground look a little more realistic. And I haven't even put any details in anything. It's just been brush strokes, and you can tell where the stones are. And it lays a nice background for the painting itself. So I mean, it's I love this process, and without having to do all that, just letting God guide my hand and to make it done. So let me move you over here. Move my big behind right here. But I love, just painting. It is, without a doubt, one of the best stress relieving acts that you can do. Something that you start from nothing and follow through with it until it's complete. If you've got a job that has no sense of fulfillment, or there's never an end to it, like factory work, or working at a jail or a prison or, any kind of law enforcement where there's no real satisfaction at the end of the day because each day is just a continuation of the day before. And you don't have the ability to see something through, it can build that stress up on you. So, if you like to paint, it doesn't matter if you're a beginner, intermediate, professional, none of that matters. What matters is just getting in there and doing it. Having the faith in yourself to just do whatever you want to put on paper or on canvas or on a piece of board. Okay? Art is art. It doesn't matter if it's, a big name or a no name. Just look at some of the masters and the paintings they put out. They get many, many ravings about these things. But not everybody likes them. They will go along with it and they'll say, oh yeah, this is the best. But I look at some of the masters of painting and it is not my style. I'm not into those type of styles, so no, it's not appeasing to me. I wouldn't even hang it in my house. I wouldn't hang a Picasso in my house. It's just not me. Art is a individual deal. You got to put yourself into it, and whatever you create is art. And I don't just do canvas. I painted my wife some little utensils that hang in the kitchen with her name on it and some roses. I painted her a nice flower picture. I painted another little rose plaque that she's got hanging in the bedroom. You can take your art and put it into crafts, because craft art is still art. It is still masterful art. And it's whatever your imagination limits you to.
All right, class. Tell me about your week.
It's like I got a chest of drawers over here, and I've been thinking here lately that I may end up repairing it because it was a throwaway. And if I get it all repaired and back together, I may just go crazy on it and paint stuff on it. And kind of like old school days when back in the 40s and stuff, when people used to take wood stuff and just paint, and in the 30s and stuff, and paint designs on it, vines, flowers, little rosette symbols and stuff like that, and turn it into its own little piece of artwork sitting in here in my studio. So who knows what we'll be doing as we go along here, but I just want you to know that you don't have to be a master at this to start.
But you have ad goals.
You start with
Spotify's ads manager lets you
at the
choose
beginning.
objective that works best for your campaign.
My early paintings,
Your ad to reach the most people.
I look at them, I'm like, I'd like to go back and fix that, but I don't, because it was as good as I could do then, and it shows the progress of how I made over the years. And if I touched them, I know certain people that would smack my hand because, they just love them the way they are. But I do commissions for other people, and I work with them and ask them, what they want, get the full concept down, and go in and get it done. But there's no more joy for me than my family first, or my God first, my family second, which they're together in my mind. And this painting, it's a way to express. It's a way to show people what we humans are. If it wasn't for art, we wouldn't be human. And that's music, painting, sculpture, performing arts, Art is what makes us human. It's the designing thing that shows that we are human. Okay? So enjoy it. Get involved in it. Do something. Even if you're into building, build something. Get rid of all that stress. This is my stress relief. You got to find yours. And I love sharing this with people. It's my passion. And you're going to see a whole lot more in these videos on YouTube and as we go along. But just get out and get involved in something. Something that is you. This is me. And if you like to paint, it can be you. If you don't like to paint, then you find something that you love. I got friends that just love building flower boxes. You know, they love building little small stuff, bird houses. But it's building, but it's craft. And then some people just like to go out and build sheds. You know, it's something that they can see from the ground up, and it's finished. They get that sense of satisfaction, and it relieves all that pent-up stress. That's why a lot of construction workers and stuff live a good long time, because they have so much satisfaction when they get to see their product finished. The house is finished. You know, the framers, when they get done with their framing, they know all the framing's done and they're finished. They're like, I'm good. The electrician, when he runs all his wires and stuff and he finally gets it all together and it's all done, and he looks around and he sees that it's all finished and it's passed inspection, there's a sense of satisfaction. But I just love watching something grow. And with God using me to paint, it just brings me closer to Him. So, you know, that's another stress relief. I've got a regular job right now. I'm getting ready to retire here at the end of this year. So I'll be on here a lot more. And I appreciate y'all jumping into the journey with me. And I hope you really like watching the King Returns being painted. As it grows, you know, I'll put out more and more techniques and stuff for anybody who's learning, you know, that wants to pick up little techniques here and there. And someone who just wants to enjoy watching the painting going on. Now, at the beginning of this particular video, I forgot to turn the mic on. So when it's edited, it's going to have some music at the beginning of it before my voice. Old brain, electronics, not the best combo in my case. Okay, so I'm just getting started on this, and I'm just getting up to speed on how to do all these. So thank you for sitting with me and coming into my studio. This is the Art by No Studio. I am Doug No. If you need or want a commission done, all you gotta do is send me an email at artbyno66@gmail.com, or you can find me on Facebook under Doug No or Art by No, and send me a message, and you know, we'll work together to see what we come up with, if we can make an agreement, and you know, and work with it from there. I've done commissions for many people. So I look forward to hearing from you. Please leave me some comments. What you liked about it, what you don't like. You know, I'm an artist. I can take criticism, okay? But just comment about it. Does it look good to you? Does it invoke feelings? Is it something that you're interested in? I mean, because I've got tons of paintings. And, if you ever want to see all the paintings, there's some shorts on the channel here that shows you the creation of a lot of these, and you'll get to see them. But I really enjoy having you in here. It is such a blessing to have you guys in here watching. So I want to thank you so much for your time, and please like and subscribe, and then share my channel with other people. If anybody that you know that might get enjoyment out of watching some painting being done, the more the merrier. It's like growing a family. And I'm an old Grandpa Walton type of guy. Okay?
Yes.
So, thank you very much. You all have a very wonderful
Let's just get one of everything.
rest of your day. And I'll see you at the next step for The King Returns.
This is so nice.
I had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Oh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card.